President Tinubu visits Maiduguri, pledges federal support to flood victims. Gunmen storm Anambra police station, kill 2 officers. Rising gadget prices deepen FCT residents' frustration amid economic crunch. On the foreign scene, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger to roll out biometric passports under new alliance. Hello and welcome to the News Hour tonight on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. We begin with developments from the devastating effects of the flood in parts of the country, and now President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured of support for victims and survivors of the Maiduguri flood that has killed many and displaced millions from their homes. The president was joined by the Senate President, ministers and governors who paid a sympathy visit to Governor Babagana Zulum. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi has more.
The presidential jet touched the Air Force Base in Maiduguri at about 3:20 p.m. on Monday. He and other government officials first visited Government College of Maiduguri that is sheltering thousands of persons displaced by the flood. He assured of his commitment to support the victims and survivors of the disaster. The president extended his official visit to the Shehu of Borno at his palace. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police was at the government house to console the governor. He said the police will support the rebuilding process of devastated places.
Your Excellency, we have been informed that the police community was also affected by this disaster. 4 of our police stations and 3 outposts were affected. Our modern EOD training school was also affected. I want to assure Your Excellency that the police leadership will support Your Excellency in the rebuilding of these affected police institutions. On some of the damages that have been made to your command, I know you will do your best, but where you need additional support, but not yet come up. Do not hesitate to support you in order to bring back those structures on ground again.
Meanwhile, Governor Zulum had earlier in the day flagged off the distribution of food palliatives at the Bakassi IDP camp. He acknowledged food donations from the Ministry of Agriculture, NEMA, and NNPC.
We observe that it is no more sustainable for us to continue to receive people in the camps, because we have seen many people are trooping into the camps, especially those that are not affected.
We're a bit worried about the diseases that could come because of the dirty water. But the coordination so far has been quite wonderful. We've also engaged in a lot of search and rescue and evacuated quite a number of people. The state government has provided the absolute necessary leadership that is required in this. They've taken ownership, and the community has shown a lot of resilience.
Meanwhile, the National Emergency Management Agency has deployed more staff from other zonal offices to assist in the intervention activities ongoing in the flooded areas in Borno State. NEMA said staff from Yola, Gombe, Jos, and the Abuja offices have been deployed to Maiduguri because of the overwhelming situation. The NEMA spokesman, Manzo Ezekiel, who disclosed this on Monday, also noted that the Director General of the agency, Zubaida Umar, is also supervising the rescue and intervention activities in the state. Beatrice Kurutsi, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Similarly, Borno South Senator Ali Ndume has urged the federal government to establish feeding centers for victims of the flood disaster in Borno State. Lamenting the plight of the victims on Monday in Maiduguri, the former Senate leader called on the federal government to consider the flood disaster a national issue and create emergency feeding and medical centers. The senator, who commended Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum for creating over 25 camps for the victims, said the Ramat Square in Maiduguri would be a good place for such, adding that emergency feeding is standard practice worldwide in times of emergencies such as flooding.
What the federal government needs to do is to come and do a really quick survey and then get this dredging equipment to go to the end of the discharging point, allow discharges when it overflows like this. It discharges in Jere and is it, what do you call that? Adamari, Zabarmari, where they farm. Yes. So they need to get there and then try to excavate way out so that the water can now flow and go. The federal government, honestly, we have a scratch of what they are doing, but they need to intensify it to create a national, and this is a national disaster, not only a state disaster. And they should declare a kind of emergency on food and feeding.
Also, the Nigerian Medical Association on Monday called on the government and other critical stakeholders to immediately activate measures that will guarantee public health safety following a devastating flood that ravaged Maiduguri last week. This was contained in a statement issued by the chairman, Borno State Council, Yakubu Muhammad, who sympathized with the displaced persons. He emphasized the need for proper hygiene and appropriate latrines to prevent outbreaks of diseases like cholera. Yakub raised concerns over reports received from various IDP camps within Maiduguri Metropolitan Council, which might trigger a public health crisis in the coming days. Yakub also pledged the association's full support as part of its corporate social responsibility, urging all members to be prepared to provide health services at IDP camps as well as in their neighborhoods. The Kogi state government has said that over 250,000 people in 8 communities of the state may be displaced in the event of water flood in this year's wet season. This was disclosed on Monday at a key stakeholders meeting on flood management led by the Commissioner for Environment and Ecological Management, Joseph Oluwasegun. He said the meeting was in response to the rising water levels of the River Niger and Benue, as well as the 2024 flood prediction by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency. He said 42 IDP camps have been established across 8 local government areas, with 9 flood-prone areas identified as part of the state government's proactive measures towards mitigating against the flood impact in this wet season. Stakeholders explored various aspects of flood management, mitigation strategies, emergency response protocols, and evacuation procedures, with focus on developing a comprehensive plan to minimize the impact in the event of flooding. President Bola Tinubu has commiserated with the people and government of Zamfara State over the recent floods in Gumi local government area and the death of over 40 farmers in a boat accident on their way to their farms at the weekend. In a statement by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu expressed the government and the people of Nigeria's commiseration over the twin tragedies in Zamfara community. While promising support for the victims, the president directed emergency agencies to comprehensively assess the 2 incidents to address the root of the calamity. President Tinubu also directed response agencies to work with the Zamfara state government to help those affected by the disaster. Also, Governor Dauda Lawal expressed sadness over the boat accident, which he described as a monumental disaster. The statement added that the Zamfara State Emergency Management Agency has been directed to promptly begin rescue and recovery operations. And to matters of security, troops of the Nigerian army have killed 2 terrorists and recovered weapons during an operation conducted in Kaduna State. The troops who were acting on credible intelligence laid an ambush against terrorists who were moving along the Birnin-Gwari-Manini axis. According to a post on X on Monday, the army said the ambush led to a fierce gun battle with the terrorists. The army added that it remained resolute in its mission to rid the country of terrorism and ensure the safety of all citizens. Reactions have continued to trail the killing of bandits Kingpin, Kachala, Subobo, and the dislodgement of other terrorists from the northwest region of the country. A cross-section of Katsina residents commend Nigerian military for the bold steps in tackling insecurity in the region and called for more commitment towards ending the scourge. They also called on the Nigerian government to live up to its duty of protecting lives and property, to allow residents have a breath of fresh air.
So now that they started touching those who are in power, I think that was why the government was scared. Alhamdulillah, the directives that made service chief to move down to Sokoto State has shown Nigerians that yes, definitely, if government wants to end this insecurity, it can end it.
What we are going to do, whether they are making progress or the other way around, we are to pray for them. We are to be with them. And we are with them, and we are praying that Almighty should guide them and give them the courage to defeat this situation.
Notwithstanding, we are hopeful that we are going to see something positive coming out of this in our state and the other states like Zamfara, Sokoto, and even Kaduna and Niger State. With this kind of directives, we hope to see something good coming out of it.
Or let the military authority go and build a cantonment inside those forests. Deny this terrorist area of operation. That is what we need now to change the equation. But they have basis, and the politics, the regional politics in this Sahel, you know, they are flushing out their bandits, their killers, and they are running to Nigeria because Nigeria has a large forest unprotected.
Still on security matters, and now to the southeast region of the country. Gunmen on Monday set ablaze the Umunze police station in Urumba South local government area of Anambra State and killed 2 policemen. The suspected gunmen attacked the police facility with improvised explosives, shooting sporadically and causing a fire to raise a part of the station. During the attack, 2 police operatives on duty were killed as they attempted to resist the assailants and prevent further damage. Confirming the attack, Anambra State Police Command spokesperson SP Tochukwu Ikenga stated that the bodies of the deceased policemen have been recovered and taken to the morgue. He also said joint security forces, including the police, army, navy, civil defense and other agencies, have recovered 5 unexploded improvised explosives and are pursuing the arsonists and members of the armed secessionist group responsible for the attack on the Umunze police station on Monday. And our Daily Trust reporter in Anambra State, Titus Eleweke, is joining us via phone. Thank you so much, Titus, for joining us on the News Hour tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, what more have we learned about the scope of this attack?
Hello?
Titus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What new information have we learned about the scope of this particular attack?
The particular I think it's always some of the gunmen who have been terrorizing some states in the southeast and other places. And these people, sometimes they just attack their soft target and go away. Most of them are not visible. You don't see them, and that's why the most of them come at night. So, by the police report, they always call gunmen. So they hardly define what they mean by gunmen. So we follow them by the government. So it's just an unfortunate situation that people are suffering under these circumstances, that people are attacking people and killing people. Last week or last week, we had one indemnity. The same problem of attacking police headquarters and council headquarters. So it's very, very unfortunate that despite every action, tradition has a coming up.
Titus, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Now, this attack has happened. Now, I'd like to hear from you as a reporter in Anambra State. Is there somewhat connection between this attack and ESN or IPOB operations?
The issue that the police at the moment, they have not been really confirmed of anything, but the government, we don't know what they are. Nobody can be linked to them, but for now, nobody can actually confirm. Because there are a lot of criminal activities that are going on, like all these cult groups and other things.
Titus, you have stated that criminal activities are going on even from the cult groups in that particular region. But then how volatile is the security situation in the area at the moment?
Yeah, it's not too volatile. There is an issue of, at least since the recent time we had the new CP, and most when a new CP come, they normally have a problem of all this kind of thing. So there's, even with the presence of police checkpoints everywhere, all these things have happened sometime, and all these things are. Of course, are very, like, especially at Anambra South.
Oh, okay, Titus. Thank you for bringing us up to speed on that particular update. We do hope that you stay safe in Anambra State. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour.
Thank you very much.
And to health matters, a suspected cholera outbreak has killed 4 people and left 2 others hospitalized in Gujbar local government area of Yobe State. A source from the Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Gujbar Local Government Office, who craved anonymity, confirmed the incident. The development, it said, a total of 45 people manifested symptoms of cholera disease, out of which 4 deaths were recorded, while 2 were admitted at the PHCC Buni Yadi. Reports say following a devastating flood, the ravaged some parts of the state, health experts have advocated the need for proper hygiene to prevent outbreaks of diseases like cholera. Another source from the health office in the local government said a rapid response team with the support of partners like WHO, UNICEF and CDC had visited the settlements to intervene with sensitization on hygiene practices. When contacted, the State Commissioner, Ministry of Health and Social Services, Muhammad Lawan Ghana, said the ministry is only aware of acute watery diarrhea cases in the community locked by water in Gujbar last week. Adamawa State is currently battling a cholera that has claimed 4 lives and left 36 others hospitalized. This was reported in the Al-Kalawa, Ajia and Limawa wards of Yola North Local Government Area. Chairman of Yola North Local Government Area, Jibrin Ibrahim, disclosed this during a visit to the Infectious Disease Center in Yola. He noted that the number of cases has surged from 20 to over 40, with 4 fatalities confirmed. Ibrahim praised the prompt response of health workers, the Red Cross and international partners. He explained that the disease is likely linked to contaminated water caused by recent flooding.
We'll have to commend the health workers, the health team, and indeed our partners for the rapid response of making sure that they respond to the affected people immediately. A lot of them are responding to treatments, and it is our own duty to also go back to our communities and sensitize people of the need to take hygiene seriously and to avoid contaminated foods and water in order that we save our people. It is most unfortunate, but we hope and believe that it will be curtailed as soon as possible.
Nigeria generates 500 million kilograms of e-waste, ranking the third largest e-waste generating country in Africa, according to the 2024 data by the Global E-Waste Monitor. Despite the environmental hazard caused by this e-waste management, only 42% of countries globally have adopted some kind of e-waste policy or regulation. To change the narrative, some Nigerians are tapping into the economic benefits of e-waste recycling, an action that could address waste pollution in Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. Trustee Ibrahim Ismail reports.
E-waste refers to discarded electric appliances. These appliances are mostly devices that owners no longer find useful or those that have stopped working. But when recycled properly, these electronic waste will generate billions of dollars in revenues. Annually, the world loses $37 billion as a result of the low e-waste recycling, the Global E-Waste Monitor said. This is in addition to the environmental hazards attached to the mismanagement of e-waste, which Nigeria is largely a victim. However, a section of youth in Nigeria's capital Abuja is investing technical talents to bring back discarded electronic gadgets to life. One of those technicians is Muhammad Sani.
Some
wealthy people prefer to buy a new appliance instead of repairs. We pick, repair and sell the discarded items at a very cheap price. If a refurbished appliance costs 3,000 or 4,000 naira here, its new version may be 10,000 naira in the market. It helps save costs because not everyone can afford new products. People used to give us faulty appliances free, but not anymore. We must buy it due to the current economic challenges. Some of these electrical appliances were either picked from refuse dump site by scavengers like this guy, or were bought from first-hand owners. However, the scavengers were not free from accusations of wrongdoing in their operations. The items we pick from the dustbins include adapters, power stabilizers. I don't even know some of the items. There are plastic bottles and cans as well. Although most of them are self-taught, the creativity of electrical technicians like Muhammad Sani helps thousands of Nigerians save money when in need of electrical appliances.
Turn it around and the switch will start working again. And we work perfectly as if it's a new one. Sometimes it's even better than the new one, because sometimes when you buy a new one, you will stay like longer and it will just die off. But this will recycle it and it will start working again.
According to the Global E-Waste Monitor, metals contained in e-waste generated globally in 2022 alone were approximately 31 million tons and valued at $91 billion. Experts believe Nigeria needs to explore opportunities in the e-waste recycling sector for economic growth.
Putting what you use money to buy, and because of one or two technical issues, you put them aside. No, there should be a collection center, a center where they will be converged, and each and every individual will display his skills, will now share the skills, and at the end, we now share prosperity and development for the entire economy.
The National Environmental Electronic Sector Regulations 2022, which aims to stamp out the negative aftermath of e-waste in Nigerian environment, also provides for best practices in handling e-waste. However, it is clear that these regulations are not properly implemented, as Nigeria is ranked the third largest e-waste generating country in Africa. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Moving on to more stories and to a sad development, no fewer than 15 people have perished in a road accident that occurred in Saminaka-Larai local government area of Kaduna State. The accident, which occurred around 1 p.m. on Sunday, involved mostly children who were traveling to celebrate Eid al-Mawlud, a Muslim festival to mark the birth of Prophet Muhammad. Confirming the incident, the sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps in Kaduna State, Corps Commander Kabiru Nadabo, said the driver of the J5 bus carrying the children lost control due to overspeeding and collided with an oncoming articulated vehicle, which resulted in the crash. He said 15 children out of the 63 on board the J5 bus died instantly, while 48 others sustained varying degrees of injuries. The sector commander further disclosed that the injured victims were conveyed by a team of FRSC, police and the Kaduna State Traffic Law Enforcement Authority officials to the comprehensive hospital in Saminaka, while the dead bodies were deposited at Dabo Lare Memorial Hospital, also in Saminaka. Farmers in Bauchi State say they are hopeful that the construction of rural roads linking many communities will reduce the hardship that comes with the rainy season and aid business transactions for marketers of perishable goods. They made their feelings known shortly after the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 12.5-kilometer road linking Das and Toro local government areas of the state. Trustee Adamu Imam completes the report.
The construction and rehabilitation of rural roads in Das, Dadu and Polche communities embarked upon by the state government, linking business communities of Riminzem into local government area, is exciting many small-scale farmers. Lawal Adamu and Shuaibu Idris, as well as Yusuf Traki in Dadu district, could not hold their joy as they witnessed the groundbreaking of rural roads construction. Honestly, we are suffering due to lack of an access road whenever we load our goods for onward transportation to the market. Only God knows when we will reach our destination to sell. The road is so bad that we would rather auction our goods to buyers at a giveaway prices rather than losing them. We usually use the road from Riminzem to move our farm produce, and the experience has not been a pleasant one, but I believe that things are going to change for the better, especially for farmers in our communities. I am also hopeful that it will bring a lot of opportunities for youth and other residents. In fact, I grew up and saw how people were suffering while using this road, down from Dado community to Riminzayam. We are excited because with this road construction, our goods will reach the FCT within a short time and without stress too. Meanwhile, according to the state government, the rural infrastructure will help many small-scale farmers to have value for their money through agricultural produce as part of efforts to reduce hunger in various communities. In addition, the state governor, Bala Muhammad, warned members of the benefiting communities to cooperate with construction engineers at the site throughout the period of the project in the interest of peace and development. Adami Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The presidential initiative on compressed natural gas has commenced the distribution of 1,000 conversion kits across some states in the federation to minimize the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja to mark the commencement of the distribution of 1,000 conversion kits across some states, the program director of the initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, said the move will bring down transportation costs. According to him, the initiative will generate over 100,000 direct jobs over the next 3 years, as it aims to convert about 3 million vehicles within the same period. Oluwagbemi revealed that commercial transport operators will be converted free of charge to minimize the impact of the fuel subsidy by bringing down the cost of transportation. The warehouse manager of the PICN facility, Moses Onate, while unveiling to newsmen some of the conversion kits at their warehouse in Ibafo, Ogun State. The distribution is being carried out under a code name First Come, First Serve. He said 450 conversion kits had already been given out to states, with an additional 550 awaiting distribution. Muslims have been advised to always work for the interest of peace in Nigeria as part of efforts to uphold the unity of the country. This advice was part of the Eid al-Maulud message marking the anniversary of the birth of Prophet Muhammad in Asaba, the Delta State capital. The Muslim Ummah held a road show in Asaba as part of the celebration. The Muslim faithful, led by the Saraki of Hausa community, represented by Kabiru Iku, marched through some streets in Asaba before converging on traffic roundabout, where they offered prayers for the development of Nigeria. They sued for justice, unity, and peaceful coexistence between Muslims and non-Muslims in the country. The train later moved to Central Prayer Ground for more prayers for the good of the nation.
The essence of today is to come together and sensitize the masses about the advent of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. He came, he saw, and he conquered. He is a mercy to mankind. There is no one that follows him except that he or she will know the peace that Almighty God wants for us here on earth. So,
what it means to me is to learn the prosperity, peace that the Prophet teach the Muslims, that the Muslims should be peaceable and should live in peace with one another. Because the Islamic conjunction tells us that we must love our Christian brother, we must love everybody that we've come across with.
Peaceful, should be patient, they should believe in the word of Almighty Allah that says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Isibiru wa-sabiru wa-rabbitu wa-taqullaha, la'allakum tuflihun. That we should be patient, we should tolerate, we should persevere.
According to the Nigerian Communications Commission, about 63 million gadgets are sold annually in Nigeria, with over 132 million unique devices being on the country's telecommunication network in 2020. The growth in the demand for gadgets has been attributed to the increase in the number of telecom subscribers in the country. In this report, Trustee Vice Noel Sampson speaks to some FCT residents on how the economic situation in the country is affecting the cost of phones and other telecommunications gadgets. The report.
This is Banex Plaza, one of the most popular places in the FCT where phones and other telecommunications gadgets are sold. Dealers here and residents alike say the recent economic downturn in the country has negatively impacted the demand for telecom devices in the country, as prices for some gadgets have gone up by over 200% since last year. According to these residents, they are therefore spending their lean incomes on basic essentials rather than gadgets, which they say witness an upward price movement almost every 3 months.
4-5 months back, you can get an iPhone 7 Plus for like 70,000, but now you can get it for like 120, 130. So it has gone up and it's not coming down. Yes.
So I have a PS5 in my shop. I sold for 800. Within a 1 week later, my supplier called me back that phone prices, the PS5 prices is no longer the same. So I have to increase my prices in order to go up. In a case where last 3 months, I have a PS5, the thing went up, I bought at a higher rate, the thing come down, I lost. I know how much I lost. So it's all the same, you have to be checking the current rate and to up your prices.
Like this Samsung I'm holding now, when it came out, it was 110. I bought it 110, but now it's roughly 250,000 naira within the space of 3 months.
A phone vendor, DJ Mike, spoke on how they are managing with sales of devices in this difficult period and what payment plans have been put in place to encourage purchases.
Regardless of how the economy is shaky, like you rightly stated, the Forex is not been stable and all of that, but we always like to find a meeting point. It's been tougher, in all sincerity. In short, I've had some of my colleagues having to shut down, but for some of us, we've come to understand that we need to learn to adjust in the system. And it's been tough at the end of the day on the end users, our customers. You know, the price. Some people bought some things, say, let's say 100,000 some time last year, and now they're coming to buy the same thing, and it's almost 5 times to the price. You know, Now, it has also kind of helped some for those that wanted to now resell. The resale value have gone up, but whatever they're buying next is higher. Okay, because of the high prices of things, most customers tend to now prefer to, number one, go for used devices. Understand? Because the new ones now are a bit pricey. But even for those that want to buy the new ones, there's something called instrumental payments. We have about 4 different organizations now that are partnering with us, the business guys, to help these customers buy. Thank God for BVN and NIN and what have you. They can buy, pay part payment, then spread the rest over a period of time, and that has been helpful.
The surge in demand for phones and gadgets, many say, is because they are helping in making lives easy and convenient by providing avenues for people to communicate with loved ones and also work efficiently. No, Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu, has unveiled the One Nigeria and Unity fabric, which she described as a symbol of national unity. The fabric was designed by 25-year-old Mofinyi Foluwa Bamidele. The report.
Bamidele, who went home with a cash prize of 25 million naira, emerged the winner of a fabric designs competition organized by the Renewed Hope Initiative (RHI), chaired by the First Lady. Her entry was picked as a winner from 111 entries. The First Lady, in her keynote address at the unveiling of the #OneNigeria/Unity fabric and announcement of the winner of the competition, which was held on Monday at the State House Conference Center, Abuja, explained that the concept of a national fabric was inspired by her visit to Zimbabwe in December 2023, where she saw a similar initiative. The event was witnessed by dignitaries from across the country, including wives of governors, wives of the leaders of the National Assemblies, and wives of security chiefs. Senator Tinubu said the #OneNigeria/Unity fabric competition was launched in February 2024 with a call on youths aged 15 to 25 to create a design that would represent Nigeria's unity. She praised the rigorous selection process and thanked the judges and members of the governing board of the Renewed Hope Initiative for their efforts. She also disclosed that the new national fabric would be worn across the country to celebrate the Independence Day anniversary on October 1st, 2024.
The winning design was further worked upon by a renowned textile designer, Ms. Banke Kuku. And apart from the Renewed Hope Initiative team, we added the Nigerian coat of arms to make it truly a national fabric. As we showcase this design, our goal is to encourage local mass production of the Unity fabric by 2 of our local manufacturers, namely Sunflag Nigeria Limited, Lagos, and BBY Multi-Trade Limited, Kano, making it accessible to all Nigerians. By mass producing this fabric, we aim to stimulate local industries, create jobs, and boost our economy.
The National Vice Chairman of the Renewed Hope Initiative (RHI) and wife of the Vice President Hajiya Nana Shettima said the fabric initiative is aimed at promoting unity and creativity in Nigeria.
The concept we envision and discuss has become a reality. This competition was conceived to inspire creativity, showcase the extraordinary artistic talents that Nigeria possesses, and promote unity among our diversity.
Okay, I feel when I was making a fabric, I made it with love. I thought about what the country is going through right now. I feel if we all come together to stand firm as one nation, one unity, I feel Nigeria will be great. That's what made me to draw out the fabric.
Others who were at the event were the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dimeji Bankole, former First Ladies including Ajoke Muritala Mohammed, Justice Fatih Lami Abubakar, and Dame Patience Jonathan.
Welcome back into developments in business. The Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has announced her intention to seek another 4-year term as head of the trade organization. She disclosed this in an interview with Reuters on Monday, stating that she hopes to complete unfinished business from her first mandate. Okonjo-Iweala, who served as Nigeria's finance minister took office in March 2021 as the first female and African head of the 30-year-old trade body. Her current term expires on 31st August 2025. She said her priorities include finalizing a deal on ending fisheries subsidies, achieving a breakthrough in global agriculture negotiations, reforming the WTO's struggling dispute system, and decarbonizing trade. Officially, she has until the end of November to decide whether to apply again. However, the African-led initiative to start early, which began in July before United States President Joe Biden withdrew from the election campaign, was seen as a move to secure her second term ahead of the U.S. votes in November. Let's now join Yusuf Akogu for more business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Akogu. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) on Monday said the inflation rate dropped from 33.40% in July to 32.15% in August 2024. In a document titled CPI August 2024, NBS said the inflation rate declined by 1.25 percentage points. NBS said on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 6.35 percentage points higher compared to 25.80% recorded in August 2023. The report said this means that in August 2024, the rate of increase in the average price level is lower than the rate of increase in the average price levels in July 2024. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has released a breakdown of estimated petrol price for the Dangote refinery in its retail stations in Lagos as well as other states in the country. In a statement signed by its Chief Corporate Communication Officer Olufemi Sonaye, the company stated that it is buying petrol in dollars from the Dangote refinery for September, and sales in Naira will begin from October 2024. The NNPCL also revealed the estimated pump price for premium motor spirit for September as determined by Dangote refinery pricing. A breakdown of the chart from NNPCL showed that Dangote refinery sold petrol to NNPCL at 898 Naira per litre. NNPCL statement added that the estimated pump price in Lagos will be Naira 50, Sokoto Naira 99 Naira, Brno 1017 Naira, and FCT Naira 92 Naira. According to the NNPC, PMS prices are not set by government but are instead negotiated directly between parties on an arm's length basis in line with Section 206 of the Petroleum Industry Acts, PIA. Now let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil price stabilized on Monday as ongoing disruption to U.S. Gulf oil infrastructure balanced persistent demand concerns after a fresh round of Chinese data, while investors await news on U.S. interest rates cut this week. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $72 per barrel. For the OPEC basket, price steadies at $72 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
Thank you, Yusuf Akogu, for the business news. And to developments away from Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger will soon launch new biometric passports. Mali military leader Colonel Assimi Goïta said on Sunday as the junta-led states look to solidify their alliance after splitting from regional bloc ECOWAS. The three Sahel nations are under military rule following a string of coups since 2020, joined together last September under the Alliance of Sahel States after severing ties with former colonial ruler France and pivoting towards Russia. They then said in January that they were turning their backs on the Economic Community of West African States, an organization they accused of being manipulated by France. In July, the allies consolidated their ties with the creation of a Confederation of Sahel states, which will be chaired by Mali in its first year. The announcement came a day before the three states are due to mark the one-year anniversary of the alliance's creation. Still on the foreign scene, shootouts between hundreds of tribal warriors have left at least 30 people dead in Papua New Guinea's highlands, police said on Monday, as security forces were given emergency powers to quell the violence. Police said the unrest started in August when illegal miners inflicted life-threatening injuries on a landowner in the Porgera Valley, home to one of Papua New Guinea's largest gold deposits. Peace talks failed and the situation spiraled into intense tribal fighting that saw 300 shots fired on Sunday alone, according to police commander Joseph Tundup. Police said 30 men had been killed across the rival clans and hundreds of women and children displaced, with many homes burned to the ground. 2 officials were also killed while waiting for a lift home after work, said Tundup. Police Commissioner David Manning said little force would be used to restore order in the hard-to-reach highlands region. Lastly, on the foreign scene, a man suspected of plotting to assassinate former United States President Donald Trump was charged with federal gun crimes on Monday. Ryan Wesley Ruth, 58, was charged with possession of a firearm as a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number at his initial court appearance. Ruth, who was arrested on Sunday after an alleged abortive bid to shoot the former president at his West Palm Beach golf course, is expected to face further charges at a later arraignment. Ruth appeared calm during the brief court hearing, answering yes in a soft voice to several questions from District Judge Ryan McCabe of the Southern District of Florida. Ruth was arrested on Sunday after a United States Secret Service agent noticed the barrel of a rifle pointing out of shrubbery at the Trump International Golf Course. Agents who were deployed in a moving security bubble extending about 1 or 2 holes ahead of the former president engaged an individual, the United States Secret Service's Rafael Barros said. Police said Ruth fled in a vehicle and was arrested shortly after. It's time now to join Emmanuel Fashemi for the sports news.
The 2024 maiden edition of Nigerian Youth League kicked off with an opening game between Kano Pillars Feeders team of Kano and Abuja Legacy Stars FC of Abuja at the MKO Abiola National Stadium on Sunday. Kano Pillars pipped Legacy Stars FC 1-0, courtesy of Adamu Ibrahim's 21st minute goal that was assisted by Mohamed Usman to take all 3 points in the opening clash. The league, organized by Robinson Adakosa and endorsed by the Nigerian Football Federation and Nigerian Premier Football League, is to help in development of the Nations League and produce players for the various national age grade teams. The league is divided into North and Southern conferences with a total of 30 teams participating. The Northern and Southern conferences will play a total of 420 games, with each participating team playing a total of 28 matches in a season. Winners of the conferences will play the national finals to determine the overall champion, who goes home with a prize money of 40 million naira alongside a trophy and medals. The full league commences on the 24th September across the 36 states of the Federation, including FCT. As part of efforts to discover talents that will boost the sports sector in the country, the 2024 Yoshi Abuja Schools Football Tournament, involving primary, junior and senior secondary schools, kicked off over the weekend. The competition, which is the first edition and also first of its kind in the Federal Capital Territory, aims to discover football stars and raise them to prominence. 8 primary schools in the FCT register for the event, drawn into 2 groups with 4 teams in each group. Startright Academy emerged champions of the primary school category after a 5-0 mauling of Rabeto schools, while Voyage schools defeated Starfit School to win the 3rd place. At the end of the competition, Imshelia Belal of Startright School scooped the highest goal scorer award with 10 goals. The junior and senior secondary schools tournament is bid for 21st and 28th September 2024. And that is what I am Emmanuel Fashini.
Well then, that's about the size of our package for you tonight on News Hour Tonight. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good night.